This week in DA-led towns and cities across the country, 1,800 new Metro police have been deployed on the streets of Joburg to fight crime. George Municipality has appointed new firefighters, and Cape Town's fire safety education campaign has reached 15,000 households. Where we govern, the DA gets things done. On to this week's DA at Work feature, we speak to the Mayor of Drakenstein Municipality, Conrad Poole, on how they are protecting their residents from national government failures. Welcome to Conrad Poole, who joins us on Zoom, and Geordin Hill-Lewis, who has been with us in studio. Conrad, I want to start with you. Drakenstein is one of the 6 municipalities in the Western Cape that participates in the Municipal Energy Resilience Program put together by the provincial government. Tell us what that is about.
Thank you, Cilliers. Let me start by agreeing with our federal chair that it's no matter what is the title, but every public rep of the DA has to ensure we solving out the difference so that we can actually succeed in our quest to get on national level the ANC under 50% in 2024. But nevertheless, coming back to your question, is yes, Drakenstein is one of the 6 municipalities whereby Western Province government has elected us to be part of their assistance of how they can assist us in generating our own power or selling out our own power to our residents in Drakenstein. We have been exploit this investigation or this project a few years ago, and yes, we shared our research with Western Cape government, and yes, of course, of that, we have shown them that we actually act proactively in that regard. Our aim is to ensure businesses do not suffer as a result of load shedding, and that our residents' lives are not disrupted by it. Therefore, I am grateful to the Western Cape provincial government for providing us an opportunity to make us part of the 6 municipalities in their project. The opportunity is there, Cilliers, and we as a municipality at Drakenstein, we will do anything in our power to be successful in this regard. Thank you.
Geordin, this energy resilience program is obviously all about escaping dependency on Eskom and load shedding. You've made the bold promise to the people of Cape Town that you want to make the city free of load shedding. How is that project going?
I really, really do want to. And let me just start with why I think that's important. It's not just about so that you can make dinner at night or boil your tea or whatever. It is because all the talk that we hear of economic growth and unemployment is all just fluff, so long as you can't even have enough power to grow your economy. So if we are serious about unemployment and poverty, you have to have electricity. So I'm very serious about this, and I'm pushing the team hard to develop a realizable, practical, costed plan to do it over this term of office. And as I said, very soon, in the next couple of weeks, we will go to market with our first major procurement, probably in the region of 200 megawatts of solar power or renewable power. The market will decide what power they want to bid. And that's going to be really exciting. We're also looking at investing in storage, battery or pump storage, expanding Steenbras pump storage dam, reducing better incentives to reduce energy usage in the city and get more people onto their own embedded solar generation. So it's going to be, it's going to entail a whole number of things, getting them right all together. So it's a lot of work, but it'll be the single biggest economic stimulus that we can do for our city economy, regardless of anything else. Absolutely. So it is really important to go for it.
Conrad, staying with the theme of innovation and DA governments having to be ahead of the changes that are happening, Geordin mentioned Steenbras Dam, which of course helps minimize load shedding, and the residents of Cape Town reap the benefits of that. But please tell us about Lelifontein in Drakenstein, which I believe is an equally innovative project.
Thank you for the question. And yes, I want to say the following, that is innovative is just you have to do more with less money. And that is what we have to do in this next 5 years. We have to see how can we actually make a 10 rand a 50 rand. And that is what actually is engineering. With this innovative idea they have come up, is that Lelifontein pump station is the first of its kind in South Africa. Is an example of how our municipality can use low-cost, off-shelf equipment to generate clean power, using potential energy in existing infrastructure. The same equipment is used to pump water and to generate electricity to reversing the flow through the pumps. The generation of electricity will not only be possible during specific circumstances. If the pump station is not in use for pumping water, but if water can flow under gravity to Wellington, the amount of energy that can be generated will only be a portion of the energy used under pumping conditions. Therefore, will only be a small saving to the pump station's usage and will not have any effect on residents' needs or during Eskom's failure. And that is the kind of project in the next 5 years will bring us to the next level. But it's up to you as an administration how you keep your finger on the pulse when it comes to your administration. Thank you.
And I hope a lot of mayors and municipal managers visit Drakenstein to go see what's happening in Lelifontein.
We've got to come and see that ourselves, Conrad, because the nice thing about these 6 municipalities that you mentioned under this project is there's now some real healthy competition between us for who can get there first. So I'm a little bit jealous of what Conrad has just said, and we'll make a plan to come and see it so we can steal your good ideas for Cape Town, Conrad.
Yeah, I'm sure Conrad is up for that.
You're welcome.
Geordin. Sure, Conrad.
I said, yes, he's welcome.
You're welcome. There you go. A visit to Paul. Geordin, Conrad spoke about stretching the value of the rand, and it seems to be a concept that Eskom is struggling with. So now they want to slap a 20.5% increase on the price of bulk electricity, and then municipalities will have to pass that on to consumers or absorb the cost and then cut other services. You made a presentation at NERSA, the energy regulator, who will have to decide on this recently. What did you tell them, and do you think they will listen?
My message was simple. Cape Townian families, South African families cannot possibly afford this increase. So many millions of families are under tremendous financial pressure at the moment. No one in South Africa is getting above inflation salary increases, if you're lucky enough to even get inflation-related increases. So to slap consumers now with an increase that is at least 4 times current inflation is just totally disrespectful and disregarding of the financial reality of so many people. And so I just think, and the other message was that it's unfair to keep going back to the public to pay for Eskom's own internal failures.
Yes.
And
as if our economy has been growing and state capture didn't affect the end consumers of electricity.
And as if Eskom has made a real effort to show, as you know, to stretch the rand, to show real efficiency gains and to deal with its bloated payroll. So some of the questions from the NERSA board members indicated to me between the lines that they were very supportive but felt constrained. In fact, the words that one of the board members used is that we are in handcuffs because Eskom is bankrupt. What do? Eskom needs cash. And so the case that I made was, I think that they have to make a rational decision, and any rational decision should take into account both Eskom's finances and the public's finances, the family's finances. You can't only look at Eskom and ignore the families. And so that was the case that we made. It's unaffordable, it's unfair, and hopefully they do listen.
And of course, the DA has a petition running against that 20.5% increase. And we're very thankful for having mayors who are willing to stand up to decisions like this. Conrad, I want to conclude with you, and I'm going to give Geordin an opportunity as well. We often speak about what's happening in the big metros, what the DA is doing there, but we forget that a big part of the success story of DA government is written by people like you in municipalities like Drakenstein, which is not a metro. Tell us, what can the residents of Drakenstein expect from your administration in the next few months?
Thank you. I believe to be successful in the next 5 years is that you have to have the ability to take your community with you. And with your community that is in sync and in line with the vision you have adopted for the municipality as a city of excellence, and want to building onto that. With our past successes as a vision that we have adopted, we can easily say we have mastered and has set a really good foundation. In our case, and it's not in the case of Mpo, but we have actually a second bite at the cherry, because why it's our second term. We can actually build on that foundation, become more solution-driven innovation. And that's why I'm talking about 10 rand become 50 rand. Essential economic and social development. Continue the excellent service delivery we have posed up to our residents. Steadfast, good governance in financial management, and never deviate from it. And integrated communication that only not informs only the empowers our community, but promotes Drakenstein as a business, as an investment, as a tourism and a sport destination. We desperately need to get economy back on track to support a growing number of disadvantaged residents left destitute by the epidemic. And yes, to create more jobs in order for them to get a job and to provide for their families, but also to restore their dignity in life. But then lastly, also, and Paul has alluded to that, is to promote a safe municipality and become more focused to that and budget for that. And that will actually attract more investors, more people want to live in your area, and that is also how you can generate extra revenue for your municipal fiscus. Thank you.
Baie dankie Conrad, en dankie vir die werk wat jy doen vir die mense van Drakenstein. Geordin, last word to you. Although you have announced many things that are coming in Cape Town, I do want to put the same question to you as I did to Conrad and Mpo. What can we expect from Geordin Hill-Lewis's administration in the next few months?
You can expect significant announcements on reducing our reliance on Eskom, energy announcements, significant additional budget allocation to safety, law enforcement and metro police officers, and importantly, crime-fighting technology, which I think is really exciting. You can expect some big announcements on infrastructure to get basic services right and really crank up our infrastructure investment, which underpins so much of what we have to do in growing the economy. And I hope that with some of the intervention plans that I've tried to put in place, residents will see meaningful improvement in some of those basic delivery pressure points, particularly in poorer communities across the city, in sewage infrastructure, in water infrastructure, and so on. So they'll see those improvements as well. So improvements in safety, improvements in energy, improvements in dignity for people, and getting our city on a growth trajectory that, as Conrad says, that can provide more resources over time and get people out of poverty.
That's good for Cape Town, but that also gives us a glimpse of a possible future for South Africa.